Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're watching it or where you are in the world. Welcome to Shrink. This is my first official episode of my Slimming World journey. Some of you probably haven't seen my first video, which is quite terrible. I didn't use any editing. I just had to do it because I know that I would not continue vlogging at all. So it was just purely for me. But if you watched it, thank you very much. Thank you for comments. I had some really good feedback from my friends and people who seen it. And obviously I took it onto the account. I've got the light. I've got a script. It's amazing. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna work on some things in the future as well. But I'm just starting. So that's what it is for now. But going back in the day, I was size 16. Going up to 18, and my friend actually offered me to join the group with her, the group that she actually went to a few times, and I went. I actually quite liked it. It was very hard for me to go there. I was very nervous. I just thought that I'm gonna be judged. I felt big, but in a nutshell, I've been on enough Slimming World for quite a long time, probably ever since 2016. And I managed to keep the weight off that I've lost. I went down to 12 stone and I've been around 12 stone. Obviously, it goes up and down because you get bad weeks, good weeks. It just depends on your lifestyle and your job as well. I spend a lot of time sitting as well. For those who work in kilos, 12 stone is around 76 kilograms. And that is quite a lot because I'm only 5'1", which is 1.57 meter, and that means that my BMI was 31.7, which is actually classed as obese. I don't want to be obese. I don't want to be seen as an obese person. But since when I got back to Slimming World in the beginning of the year, I went down to 11 stone 3, which is 71 kilograms with BMI of 29.6, and that classes as overweight, which is a win because it means that I wasn't obese anymore. I was just overweight, and that is something because I just moved the bracket on the healthy diagram thing. I don't know how it's called. Also, in the previous video, I mentioned that my weight went back up to 12 stone 2. And that was purely because of the lockdown happened and I was very anxious. I'm a key worker and that was quite triggering, and when I'm triggered I tend to eat, and mainly it's non-Slimming World friendly meals, snacks, anything. I would just have like 3 croissants for breakfast and then have another pastry for lunch, and then I would have massive bag of crisps with a chocolate on the side. So obviously that will make you put the weight on, and I stopped fitting in my work jeans. I had to be quite creative with my work clothes and that, and then I decided that I have to do something about it, because if I carry on without Slimming World or eating healthy even, I'll end up size 16. And I don't fancy wearing that size ever again. I got rid of all of my big clothes ages ago and I just refused to get back there. And I remember back in the day when I was big, if I went shopping, I would struggle with finding something that would look half decent on me. And I did not like it. I would have to actually look for the size. I would see nice dress and there would be no size for me of that particular clothing because I was just simply too big. So I don't want to go back there, no chance. So as of 21st of May I completed my first week back on Slimming World, which took me down to 11 stone 12, which is 75 kilos, and that means I've lost 4 pounds in a week. That is about 2 kilos. Probably double check that, but I think that's, from what I've checked, it's about around 2 kilos. And on the following week, which is last week, I've done my weigh-in on Saturday. My actual weigh day is on Friday, but I just didn't have a chance to do it because of work, and I had quite busy day. We had a sick chinchilla at home, so we had to take her to the vets. So it just completely left my mind. I still followed the plan 100%. I just weighed the next day. So it took me down to 11 stone 8, and that means that I've lost another 4 pounds in a week, which is amazing because that means that I've lost 8 pounds just in 2 weeks. I've never done that before since being on Slimming World since 2016. So I'm nearly back where I was before the lockdown. I'm not seeing myself stopping the plan anytime soon, and those vlogs, I know that they're gonna help me, at least for the time being, because obviously all of the groups are suspended, so you cannot go for the group. It's Zoom meetings, and most of the time they just fall on the days that I work, because I work quite a lot recently. So I'm gonna talk about some favorite meals. So this week, one of my favorite meals that I've made was my breakfast sandwich with sausage and beans. It was absolutely delicious. I used 2 gluten-free Warburton seeded bread. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I can show you how it looks like so you know what I'm talking about. So this bread, it is absolutely delicious. It's gluten-free. It's actually quite pricey. It's nearly £2 per loaf, but I really like it. 2 of the slices can be your healthy bee. So they're quite big, quite decent size. They actually quite nearly the same size as normal wholemeal bread, like normal, not the little one that Slimming World recommends, just the big one. It's quite big, very tasty. Like I said, I'm not gluten free, I'm not allergic to anything, but I just like the taste. So 2 of those can be your healthy bee, but if you don't want to use your healthy bee, it's 7 cents for 2 slices. And that, I think that's pretty decent, because it means that 1 slice is 3.5 cents, which is quite good, I think. I grilled the bread. I actually don't own a toaster or microwave. I just refuse because I know that I would just be eating really bad foods. So I grilled it in the oven, and I used my cheese, one of my healthy A's. I used the Lidl's Edam, 1 slice is 1 healthy A. You can obviously use any cheese you like. I've put it on the top of the grilled bread, and I made one of those vegetarian Linda McCartney sausages. They are amazing. They are red onion and rosemary sausages. They take around 12 minutes to grill in the oven, which is, I think it's pretty decent, because during that time you can, I don't know, do your makeup or clean up in the kitchen, whatever you do, you can just do something between that time. And that's the only ones that are free. There's a lot of different vegetarian sausages from Linda McCartney's, but they've got syns. So that's the only ones that are free that I know of. They're delicious. They're so good. I'm not a vegetarian, but if someone offered me this sausage against normal pork sausage, I would pick those. They're so nice. So I cut it all up. I've put it on the cheesy bread. I cooked some beans, poured the beans on top, and just close it. It was a really good sandwich. It felt like I ate something bad, but it was all sin-free, which was amazing. I made it twice this week. I actually experimented a little bit. I added a fried egg to it. Really nice. I would highly recommend it. If you want to have a look on my Instagram, there's a picture of it. But I'm sure you can imagine what it looked like. It tasted amazing. I would definitely will be doing it again. I've done it twice this week, so I can see myself doing it again sometime soon. Now I'm gonna talk about the sin of the week and my epic fail that I've done this week. I can't believe I actually done that. I've been following Slimming World for ages and I made a mistake. I went to the shop the other day to pick up some bits for dinner, milk, usual stuff, you know, and I seen those cereal bars on offer. They were like £1 or something, the Alpen ones, and I picked it up, took it to work the next day, even took a picture for Instagram. That is my healthy bee. It actually turns out that it's not. I double checked my syns and it is the ones that I bought. That is fruit nut and chocolate Alpen bars. They are very nice, very delicious, but I will show that they are healthy bee, but then I noticed that it doesn't say Alpenlight on them. So those, two of those can be, sorry about the glare, I think it's my light. Those, two of those can be your healthy bee. Those can, it doesn't say light on it. But I ate it, it was absolutely delicious. I actually have one opened here somewhere. They're very rich in taste. If you have a sweet tooth, I think that would be quite good. They have fruit nut and chocolate in them. I had it and it was absolutely amazing. Luckily on that day I had enough syns left so I could syn it. I am still annoyed that I didn't have my full healthy bee, but it's done. It's last week, it doesn't matter anymore. But that's how they look, how chocolatey they are. You can see all of the raisins, nuts and everything. Really good bar. I've got sweet tooth. I can eat a lot of sweets in one sitting, but after I had this bar I didn't fancy anything sweet. They are 6 syns per bar. If you have a sweet tooth and if that could stop you snacking other stuff, I would highly recommend it. I know it's been a fail for me, but at the same time I would have not discovered how good they are if I didn't make that mistake. So I'll take it as a win. It's only 6 syns. Obviously I get only 15. Men can get up to 25, I think. I never got into that because I just get really annoyed that they are allowed to eat more snacks. But it doesn't matter. And then let's talk about drinks. The weather has been absolutely amazing in here. We live at the seaside. It's been more than 20 degrees. It was going up to 28 degrees for the past few days. So there's been a lot of barbecues going. I know you have to social distance, but obviously you live with people. Some of you can live with people, have a garden and have a barbecue and a drink. Obviously don't meet anybody else who doesn't live with you. It's just their rules. So social distancing, you know, we don't want to get sick. So the other day we actually decided to go for a walk because obviously we're allowed. We went for a little walk at the river, and on the way back we had to go to the shop to pick up some bits, and I really fancied a beer. I don't really drink beer, but sometimes I just fancy it. I don't know what it is. I just wanted that beer taste, the lager taste. So I originally went to get Bud Light in the little 330 milliliters bottles, but they didn't have any. They only had cans, and the cans are like 400 and something milliliters, which obviously means that they're higher in syns. So I didn't want to have them. Just to let you know, the Bud Light 330 ml bottle is 4 syns. But I've picked up that Heineken little can. The can is 330 mils, and they 3.5 syns. I actually thought that they would be 1.5 because that's what they were last year, but it changed, which means always check your syns. Don't rely on my videos. It is accurate as of today, and what I checked today, it might change next week. So always check with your consultant, because I'm not one. I'm just a person who follows their plan and documents their journey. So always double check. But yeah, that was pretty nice. They're alcohol free, because I didn't want to have anything alcoholic. Just didn't feel like having alcohol. But that could be quite good if we eventually allowed to visit our families and that. What I used to do, I used to get any alcoholic free beer that would be low in syns and take it with me and be designated driver. Purely because if I drive, I know I can't drink. And I know myself, if I have 3-4 drinks, the plan goes out of the window. I will have all of the burgers. I will do obviously meal prep and everything. But once I have few drinks, the plan is just non-existent. And I know I feel like really bad the next morning, and I don't want that. So if you do that, Heineken 3.5 syns. Really nice. Obviously, if you like a bit, go for something different. Simply go for spirits. So yeah, like I said, sometimes I just decide to drive when we go out, and especially when the drinks are involved, because it's just my careless syns gear turns on, and I just stop counting my syns. I go over with the syns purely with my drinks, because I think barbecue is actually quite a good thing for people who follow Slimming World, because you can do a lot with it. You can have chicken, you can have sin-free burgers. Even if you don't want to buy the frozen ones from Iceland, you can make it yourself, like get 5% minced meat and just add some speed and an egg, and you've got a burger. So there's a lot of things that you can do that are sin-free for barbecue, but for me it's just the main thing is just the alcohol. And I know that if I go out, if I have a drink, then I end up like craving for something, so I would end up like having some cheesy chips from like kebab shop or something. So I just try to avoid any trigger for me not following the plan. So actually going back to that Budweiser, when I'm actually focused on the plan, I will have 2 or 3 bottles of that Bud Light, which is 4 syns per bottle. It's the little one, not the big can, the little one. They pack of 4s. I'm gonna try to get some for the next video for the next week, just to show you. So if you have like 3 of those, you're still within your syns, you feel like you had a drink. But sometimes actually the best option is to have a spirit like gin or rum. I'm a rum person. I recently started experimenting with gin. I quite like it, but I mainly would be drinking rum. But 25 ml measure, obviously always measure your alcohol. I know how it is on the parties, you do half and half, but I always measure my drinks, purely because I used to be a barmaid, and the measure's there for a reason, and it's for the taste. If you make a cocktail or spirit drink with mixer, always measure it, because otherwise it will taste awful. Obviously it doesn't matter when you have a few, but if you drink it for the taste, always measure it as well, not just for the syns. But 25 mils for Captain Morgan Spiced, which I absolutely love, is my favorite drink. It's 2.5 syns as far as I remember. And gin, it's 2.5. Some of it is free, like 3 syns, not free. So obviously double check, but sometimes it's best option to actually have a spirit. I used to drink quite a lot of wine, but I don't anymore because they're very high in syns. So I rather just have a Diet Coke with my Morgan Spice. Brilliant. But good tip for gin. I've got this gin, let me get it. I've got actually those 2. I've got those 2. They're from Lidl's. They're like 13 to 16 pounds a bottle. It is, I think it's a litre in here. I'm not sure. It's 40%. This one is quite nice, but my favourite one, as you can see that I've drunk quite a bit, it's orange and passion fruit one. What I do, I obviously get slim tonic with it, but I get an orange and a lime and a little bit of mint. I cut the orange, cut the lime. Sometimes I put 25 mils of that in my drink, and I will put 2 tonics, because when you put orange, because obviously that's orange flavour, that will bring out that orangey taste, and it will taste like you drink a drink. But if you put 2 tonics in there, it just feels like you've got bigger drink. And then obviously at the end you've got the speedy orange that you can eat. I do. Some people might think it's disgusting, but I quite like it. So that's quite a good tip if you're interested in that. And you get that speed food on the side with it. It's brilliant. So my plan for the next week is to write everything down. I actually bought myself a little planner. It's from Pinch of Num. It's quite new. I've done some pages. The only thing with those is that they don't have a space for extras. So what I do, you've got a little column there, snack here and snack here. I just cross that and just put healthy B or healthy A's, and I put them here. And obviously you mark your sins. It says treats here. I don't know if you can see because of the glare. But that's pretty good. There's some recipes in there, but I still haven't looked properly through it. I bought it on Amazon. It was like £7. It's quite big. I think it will last me until the group is back on and I can buy proper Slimming World diary. But that is my plan, to write everything down, because I know that if I write everything down, if it's on the paper, it happened, and I will see those results on the weight, whatever I've done, whatever, if I followed the plan 100% or if I didn't. If I write it down, I will know exactly where I went wrong and I can make it right on the following week. And the main thing for me is just to be honest with myself, because sometimes, especially after I stopped following the plan on the beginning of the lockdown, I just felt like, oh, it doesn't matter if I don't write it down. And I was lying to myself, writing it down, thinking, oh yeah, I'm following the plan. But then I went to had a chocolate and I didn't write it down, and then I put on weight. So the main thing is just to be honest with yourself, because if you go over the sins, it happens, you will write it down and you will know that you're following and where you went wrong. So that would be my tip if it comes to planning the next week. And I think I'm gonna finish here because I've been talking for quite a long time. I really enjoyed it. Obviously there will be some stuff coming up, I'm gonna do some editing with it. I just still have to get the whole YouTube thing around my head, but I really enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. And thank you for watching the video, and I will see you next week in Shrink. I'm planning to record on Friday, so it will be in the next few days. I'm gonna be giving updates when the next video is coming up as it goes, because I do shift pattern, so I don't have exact the same days off. So sometimes it might be a few days longer, sometimes it might be shorter, but I always do an update on the weight that I had on previous Friday. So I will see you on Friday or Saturday. See you next week. Bye.